Hi, welcome to the Migration Manager Resource Updating a Workstation video. In this video, we're going to update a workstation using Resource Update Manager. Things reviewed essentially will consist of reviewing RUM credentials for updating a workstation, configuring a collection with a workstation to process, and then perform the tasks Discovery, Processing, and Move task in order to set it up for the new domain. We'll also review logs used for monitoring and troubleshooting. In this video, we're assuming that you've previously migrated a user using QMM for Active Directory. This is a necessary step in order to successfully process a workstation machine. This is because we store the information from the migration matching source to target user within the Atom project database. And the RUM, or Resource Updating Manager, will use this information to process a computer successfully. In order to open the Resource Updating Manager, simply go to the Tools menu, Resource Processing, and select Resource Updating Manager. Here you will see basically 3 steps. First of which will create a collection, discover the computers, process the resources on that computer, and then move the computer into the new target domain. You can then clean up permissions and decommission the agents. The first thing I'd like to review in this case is quickly the credentials used for each of the domains. Manage domain credentials in this case. Each domain should have its own set of credentials. It's possible to use a single set of credentials, but this is typically the best practice. So make sure you have an administrator account for each domain that will have administrative power over all workstations within those domains, and ensure that it's in this format. The other set of credentials, the controller credentials, as seen here. These help install the agents onto the machines and run the services. Once that's complete, you merely move to the collections. You can right-click and create a collection. In my case, my first collection. Put a description if you like, and select Next. Oh, we already have a collection specified with that name. My collection. Specify a description if you like, and select Next. We now have a collection. What we need to do next is add our computer to it. Right-click on my collection, and you have several options to add computers to the collection, from Active Directory, computer browsing, text files, migration projects, and a single computer. In this case, I'm going to choose from Active Directory. I choose Browse to locate my domain controllers, and in this case, I want the computer from the source domain from the computer's OU. Select OK. It gives me a list of computers that are found in my source. In this case, I'm going to choose Workstation. Select OK, and there you have it. The workstation appears within my collection. Now, the first task that we'll want to run is the discovery now that we have located a workstation. Now, discovery is not a necessary process, but what it allows you to do is prepare your computers before you process them. This gives you lots of time to work out any issues you might have when you're trying to install agents on a large amount of computers. If you just ran processing directly, it would install the agents as well. But this is just a preparatory installation of the agents before you initiate the processing. So let's right-click and discover the workstation, which means to install the agent on it. Select Discovery, click Next, a description if you like, and then Finish. As you can see, the operation is Discovery. It's in progress, and now the status reads OK. Now we know that we didn't have any trouble installing the agent for processing the computer onto it. If you'd like to review the log, right-click, View Logs, and the logs come up. We see here, today is the 14th. We highlight one and opened it. This will give you all the information you need concerning the installation of the agent. The discovery completed successfully. Next move is to simply right-click, and now we are going to process the computer. In this case, we're going to reassign local group membership, user rights, and object permissions to target users. We'll also leave the source account's permissions. Select Next. And here you're given all the options of things to process for the new target domain. Local group membership, user rights, profiles, roaming profiles, registry, the file system, file ownership, etc. You can select or deselect the ones of your choice. Select Next. And you're also given the option to perform these tasks remotely, which means agents wouldn't be installed. In this case, we won't select this because our agents are installed. Here you can show processing progress for individual computers, which is a handy feature when you want to understand at what state the processing is in. In this case, I want to start immediately. Select Finish. Under my operation, the computer is now being processed. For the processing jobs, we can now show the progress. So you can see here on the right, for each of the things we've selected, it's calculating the statistics. Now, bear in mind that this can take considerable time for the machine to be processed. I've sped up this video, and you may not have noticed. In the end, you'll see what's been completed, what was scanned and updated, giving you a nice complete outlook. Select Close, and we can see here our status is OK. If you want to view the logs, right-click, View Logs, and the latest log shows a summary of what has transpired during the processing. And there we have it. We see that our processing operation has a status now of OK. The last move is to move the workstation into the target domain, and it is now ready to do that. So, let's right-click, Create Task, and select Move. Here, it will ask you where or which target domain you'd like to move the computer into. To appear, this is my target, and select OK. I can also choose at this point in time which OU I'd like it to go into. This is optional, as it will default into the computer OU. I'm going to change the last logged in domain to the new target domain upon the reboot, and I will preserve the computer account in the source domain, just in case I have to roll back. Select Next. In this case, if I'd like to add administrator privileges to the computer, I can do it here. Select Next. This can be performed remotely as well, but I don't need that. And select Finish. The computer is now being moved, as we can see under the Operation column. If we move to the workstation and view it, we'll be able to see the computer get rebooted. And there is the pop-up. The system is shutting down. Please save all work in progress and log off. we see that the new target domain has been defaulted for us in there. Simply enter the password and log on. You can see now that we've logged on to the target domain, we still have our original file here, signifying that the desktop remains. The final task is to run a cleanup, which removes the agent. Start now. Enter a description if you like, and select Finish. The computer has now been cleaned up. The agent no longer exists on it. It's moved into the new target domain, and the files and machine have been processed for the target credentials. Lastly, if you'd like to view the logs for the cleanup, again, right-click and enter here. You can see that the files have been cleanly deleted and the operation successful. Be sure to watch the final video in this series showing the client profile updating utility, which updates Outlook to use the target environment and target mailbox that was previously migrated. Thanks for watching.